The iPhone 17 Pro Max may feature a significantly larger battery than any previous generation. We've gathered quite a bit of information about the iPhone 17 Pro Max, but unexpectedly, one of the most notable changes has only recently come to light. According to leaker Setsuna Digital, the iPhone 17 Pro Max could include a 5000 mAh battery. While this is a standard capacity for Android devices, it represents a considerable increase compared to what we've seen in previous iPhones. The iPhone 16 Pro Max boasts the largest battery Apple has ever included in a phone, but it is still only 4,685 milliamps. If this leak holds true, the iPhone 17 Pro Max would have an additional 315 milliamps to utilize. Increasing the battery to 5,000 milliamps would finally make Apple's battery specifications more competitive with those of Android devices. This change could mean that the real-world battery life of the iPhone 17 Pro Max is significantly longer than that of most Android phones, as iPhones are known for their exceptional power efficiency. Throughout the history of Apple's iPhone Pro Max lineup, each new generation has seen a slight increase in battery capacity, with the exception of the iPhone 14 Pro Max, which actually had a marginally smaller battery than the iPhone 13 Pro Max. The news about the iPhone 17 Pro Max potentially featuring a 5,000 milliamps battery is promising, but we should approach this information cautiously. While the source has a decent track record, we have not heard this from any other reports yet, and such a significant increase in battery capacity would be unusual for Apple. If the iPhone 17 Pro Max does indeed have a 5,000 milliamps battery, it could represent one of the most notable changes in a device that otherwise doesn't appear to offer major advancements over the iPhone 16 Pro Max. Current leaks suggest that the most significant improvement may be in the design, although we can also expect enhancements to the chipset and some of the cameras. A boost in battery life could make this phone feel like a more worthwhile upgrade. While this leak specifically pertains to the iPhone 17 Pro Max, a substantial battery increase could indicate that other iPhone 17 models will receive similar upgrades. We should learn more in September, which is likely when Apple will unveil these new devices. A number of unique enhancements that were only accessible to the more costly Pro iPhones will be finding their way to Apple's whole iPhone 17 range, with even the basic model and the ultra-thin flagship wearing the Air name reported to undergo these hardware modifications. Previously, we reported that all four models will be upgraded to LTPO OLED technology that would provide ProMotion compatibility, and this time, a fresh source indicates that these devices would also have the newer M14 panels, with Samsung being the only supplier. What is unexpected is that the Korean company has yet to adopt this technology since its top-tier Galaxy S25 Ultra arrives with the previous generation M13 model. Samsung is expected to offer the biggest order of OLED screens to Apple's iPhone 17 family, with an estimate estimated to reach up to 90 million devices for the year. The M14 OLED update is now present on the iPhone 16 Pro and iPhone 16 Pro Max, and according to ET News, with information uncovered by the tipster Jukan Losreef, Samsung will deliver this panel with the purpose to apply it to all the iPhone 17 models. The story does not indicate why Apple is lowering the quantity of exclusive updates for the Pro models. However, it might be connected to the shipments suffering a fall, despite offering consumers greater motivation to pay the additional premium to make the iPhone 16 Pro and iPhone 16 Pro Max their daily car. With the M14 OLED technology being introduced in the iPhone 17 and iPhone 17 Air, buyers who cannot afford the iPhone 17 Pro and iPhone 17 Pro Max will still be satisfied, as they can enjoy similar technology at a lower price. Jukan Losreef previously highlighted the advantages of the M14, particularly its ability to enhance the efficiency of the blue emitting layer. This enhancement increases brightness levels by 30% compared to the earlier M13 screens, while also extending their longevity. Samsung is expected to profit significantly as the exclusive supplier of these M14 OLED panels, with estimates suggesting that the South Korean company could deliver as many as 90 million units to Apple this year. However, the challenge of using more advanced screens lies in their higher production costs per unit. Therefore, it remains uncertain whether Apple will absorb these additional manufacturing expenses and pass the savings on to consumers, or if they will charge a premium for this upgrade. Apple previously made a significant announcement regarding its switch to titanium for the iPhone 15 Pro series, moving away from stainless steel as the frame material. While stainless steel is known for its strength and durability, it is also relatively heavy. Thus, the transition to titanium in the mid-frame of the iPhone 15 Pro series was a welcome change. However, recent reports indicate a return to an aluminum frame for the iPhone 17 Pro, suggesting a complete reversal as Apple moves away from the titanium trend. An investor letter from Apple supply chain analyst Jeff Pugh indicates that the iPhone 17, iPhone 17 Pro, and iPhone 17 Pro Max will all feature metal frames. Pugh suggests that Apple's decision to use aluminum for the iPhone 17 Pro is driven by environmental factors, as aluminum typically has a lower carbon footprint compared to titanium. Apple aims to achieve carbon neutrality across its products and supply chain by 2030, making this change significant. Pugh posits that certain iPhone 17 models could be marketed as Apple's first carbon-neutral iPhones. Only 3 variants in the iPhone 17 series are said to boast a titanium frame. Notably lacking is a mention of the projected iPhone 17 Air, hinting it may potentially feature a titanium frame. A previous leak from Apple analyst Ming-Chi Kuo had stated that the iPhone 17 Air's frame will feature a combination of titanium and aluminum, same as the iPhone 15 Pro and 16 Pro series, although they flaunt a mix, but with a smaller quantity of titanium. Leaker Majin Buu official states that the information about the change to an aluminum frame is correct. Leaker John Prosser, who recently released the design of the iPhone 17 Air and iPhone 17 Pro, adds that the most current devices they have seen contain an aluminum unibody. There is supposed to be no apparent difference between the corners of the phone and the rear. John Prosser adds that the iPhone 17 Pro might arrive with a new design, while the iPhone 17 could appear the same as the iPhone 16. Keep in mind that all of them are leaks, and we would have to wait until later this year for additional information from the corporation. I despised the stainless steel frame of the iPhone 14 Pro Max, which made the phone as hefty as 240 grams, as much as other recent foldables, and was also a fingerprint magnet. I truly loved the lower weight of the iPhone 15 Pro Max, and the coating also performed a substantially better job of disguising fingerprints. I too enjoy the reduced weight for the non-Pro iPhone, therefore I feel positive about this metal change. While true, there would be one less distinguishing point between the standard iPhone and the iPhone Pro, my wrists would remain glad for the transition. Will Android flagships also dump titanium? On the Android side of the fence, some OEMs hastened to embrace titanium in their flagships when it became evident that Apple was going to do so too. Samsung incorporated titanium in the S24 Ultra and S25 Ultra. Even Xiaomi used titanium in the Xiaomi 14 Ultra Special Edition, while the ordinary version remained aluminum for its frame. It would be fascinating to watch which of these OEMs reverses back on the change in reaction to Apple. It will be simpler for Xiaomi given they had a limited edition, but Samsung went all in on the titanium hype train. That's what you get by mimicking Apple instead of having your own reasons. As for the pricing, price may be a sticky matter for the iPhone 17 Pro Max, with one analyst forecasting that the whole iPhone 17 series might become more costly after the iPhone 16 allegedly dodged a price raise by the skin of its teeth. And that was before the Trump administration suggested tariffs that might increase the iPhone 17 Pro Max's cost to $2,300. As of this writing, a court judgment banned such duties, but let's just say the issue remains fluid. While other iPhone models haven't experienced any big price rises for years, the Pro Max model has. Apple nixed the 128 gigs iPhone 15 Pro Max, instead settling for 256 gigs of basic storage. While the 256 gigs 15 Pro Max was the same price as the 256 gigs iPhone 14 Pro Max, it still meant the price of entry was $100 greater that year, a pattern that Apple repeated with the iPhone 16 Pro Max. We're keeping an eye on how tariffs may affect the iPhone 17 costs, but for now, we wouldn't be shocked if the phone does cost more than the $1,199 iPhone 16 Pro Max price tag, particularly with the Wall Street Journal saying that Apple is mulling a price raise. While we don't know precisely when Apple will release the iPhone 17 Pro Max, it normally keeps to the same release timetable annually. Typically, Apple introduces new iPhones around the first or second week of September, with pre-orders commencing later that week. Release day normally follows a week later. Finally, Jeff Pugh and Ming-Chi Kuo both anticipate that Apple might incorporate 12 gigs of RAM in the iPhone 17 Pro Max. That's a 50% improvement compared to the iPhone 16 series, and would presumably be so that Apple can deliver even more on-device AI in future versions of Apple Intelligence. The iPhone 17 Pro Max allegedly won't have the C1 modem that Apple debuted with the iPhone 16e. Only the iPhone 17 Air is planned to add that component. But the Wi-Fi chip in the iPhone 17 Pro Max apparently will be a new type manufactured by Apple, a first for the iPhone's connection. In addition to new or Apple-made batteries, a rumor indicates that Apple could offer reverse charging to the Pro variants of the iPhone 17. Reverse charging allows your phone charge other devices, mainly headphones like the AirPods 4. The new function would theoretically allow 7.5 charging. However, it's unclear whether Apple will strive to match the currently existent version on Samsung's Galaxy series. Finally, regulatory documents suggest that an updated Hue i2 wireless charging standard might be in place by the time the iPhone 17 Pro Max and other models come out. That might enhance wireless charging rates to as high as 50 watt. So, if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more exciting tech news and updates. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.